Order 66 saw the complete brainwashing of the clone forces and forced them to turn on the Jedi generals that they had served beside for years now, foregoing any personal connection or emotion as they executed their friends upon command. As hundreds of Jedi Knights were slaughtered within mere moments, the clones were blinded by their programming and had no emotional attachment to their heinous actions, making them completely apathetic for a few crucial moments. The end of the Jedi. As Order 66 was being carried out across the galaxy, Anakin Skywalker and his battalion of the 501st Legion were marching on the Jedi Temple directly, laying siege to the headquarters that the Jedi Order had long since called home. But if the clones had no emotional attachment to their generals, and they were corrupted into following their protocols, then why did the 501st not gun down Anakin Skywalker, identifying him as a Jedi? How did they know that Anakin was the Emperor's right hand, and why didn't they turn on him just as they did their comrades and the other respective Jedi generals across the galaxy? Well, today, students of the Force, we will answer that question. First though, according to our analytics, a lot of you guys that watch the channel haven't actually subscribed yet, so if you've been enjoying the daily Star Wars content, Force crush that subscribe button. The key part of this explanation is in the exact timeline of events between Mace Windu's confrontation with the Chancellor in his chambers, the siege on the Jedi Temple, and the issuing of Order 66, which all happened in very close proximity timeline-wise. But the exact order of events is crucial and informed exactly how Palpatine issued Order 66. After being defeated and disfigured by Windu, Palpatine and Anakin conspire to finally kill the prominent Jedi Master, and it's at this point where Anakin is fully under Palpatine's manipulation and complete control. Anakin kneels before his new master and is finally given the Sith moniker of Darth Vader, solidifying his new allegiance to Palpatine and his breakaway from the Jedi Order once and for all. What's important to note about Order 66, however, is that it was not issued to all the clone troopers at once, and there was not a system of issuing the order to all active clones, at least not that we see Palpatine using in this key moment. Palpatine addresses several clone commanders by name, indicating that he is making several calls to all clone commanders who are active on the battlefield one at a time, and choosing exact spots where he issues Order 66, and he is taking the time to reach out to clone battalions one by one. Or at least this is how he begins ordering it. By this point, however, he knows that Anakin is firmly on his side in the side of darkness, and he is no longer a Jedi Knight who needs to be executed. While the clones themselves might not have known this outright, Palpatine did not reach out to Anakin's branch of the 501st, and therefore his splinter of the battalion was not under the effects of Order 66 to begin with. On Mandalore, key members of the 501st Legion, including Rex and Jesse, were assisting Ahsoka Tano, and while Palpatine reached out to this portion of the 501st, which we see after Maul had been defeated, it is possible that Order 66 may not have been issued to Anakin's faction of the 501st. However, we believe that there is a better explanation and a better theory as to exactly why Anakin was not targeted for Order 66. It could be that directly within the clone programming, Darth Sidious had the ability to omit certain Jedi and then add additional Force wielders into Order 66, and this is something that he likely did do. The reason we know this is mainly based off of Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. The two characters in question here are Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano at this point in time is now no longer formally a Jedi Knight, as she decided to leave the Order after being framed for the crimes of Barriss Offee. Many people have even pointed out that her Jedi braid was even taken from her as she formally left the Order, even though she was absolved of all of her crimes. When Order 66 is initiated though, Ahsoka Tano is directly targeted by the 501st Legion, meaning that the clones did have some inclination to hunt down Ahsoka Tano even though she was formally no longer a Jedi General. In the specific text of Order 66 though, it does state that it specifically targets Jedi, so why is this? Not to mention that Darth Maul is even targeted himself. Darth Maul has no affiliation with the Jedi Order at all. He is a fully formed Sith Lord and a fallen Sith Lord. So why was Darth Maul targeted? The explanation that we believe is that Darth Sidious, who we know for a fact is the only individual in the entirety of the Star Wars galaxy capable of issuing Order 66, was also likely the only person that was able to amend it, either adding individuals to the list or taking them off. Earlier in the Clone Wars, many sources have pointed out that Tup does not target Anakin Skywalker as a result of Order 66, despite him being highly aggressive towards other Jedi Masters. This indicates that even several months before Order 66 was issued and the inhibitor chip malfunctioned within Tup, that Anakin Skywalker was not a target. So why is this? Well, it all leads into ultimately the grand plan of Darth Sidious. Anakin Skywalker was always meant to be the apprentice to Lord Sidious, as he wanted to form a dyad in the Force between the two of them. We know that Palpatine, of course, took great interest in the career of Anakin Skywalker ever since he discovered the presence of a Chosen One, and he always wanted to corrupt and turn Anakin Skywalker to the dark side, with this being one of his primary goals as a Dark Lord of the Sith. As even when he took on Dooku as an apprentice. Dooku was always a placeholder, as he would reveal in several novels as well as comics. Anakin Skywalker was the true prize, and Palpatine did not want this prize damaged during Order 66 at all. Perhaps even if Anakin had not fully turned to the dark side yet as of Order 66. He wanted to give himself another opportunity to potentially turn Anakin before the clones turned on Anakin themselves. We know that Darth Sidious even had an eye on Anakin Skywalker during his birth, and that he took great interest in the child, possibly far before the Jedi and Qui-Gon Jinn ever discovered him on Tatooine. Essentially then, what this means is that the programming for Order 66 was never meant to target Anakin, and we also know that Darth Sidious amended this to target Darth Maul, who had become a brand new viable threat that survived his injuries, meaning that if Darth Sidious needed to, he could actually reverse the order for the clones to target Anakin if Anakin refused to turn to the dark side as Palpatine wished. And this does basically indicate and confirm that there was some sort of wiggle room within the clone order, and the order for the clone troopers to turn on the Jedi. But it is interesting to note that as of the time of Revenge of the Sith, Darth Sidious bet on the fact that he was able to turn Anakin, and was confident that he would eventually turn to the dark side due to his disillusionment with the Jedi Order, the Jedi never trusting Anakin, and Palpatine's arrogance. Arrogance, though, in this case, that was not unfounded, as he was ultimately completely correct. Anakin Skywalker did turn, and Darth Sidious never had to amend the Order 66 issue, targeting every single Jedi, Maul, Ahsoka, but not Anakin Skywalker. It's also interesting to note that Order 66 was likely amended to not target the Inquisitors, such as the Grand Inquisitor who had already turned to the dark side during Order 66, as well as the Jedi survivors of Order 66 that would embrace the dark side of the Force and would become Inquisitors. Order 66 had to be initiated again by a Jedi Padawan in the Darth Vader comic book series that forced them to target the Inquisitors, but it is completely possible that Palpatine was able to remove at least some clone troopers' orders from the Inquisitors as well, and that is why the Inquisitors are not targeted by the clones outright. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this explanation? And do you think that this makes the most viable sense why Anakin, and even some Inquisitors, were not targeted during Order 66? Do you believe that Anakin Skywalker was omitted? And do you believe it was always Darth Sidious's plan for Anakin to be left out of Order 66? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.